I essentially, I write every book for that last passage, and so I'm pleased that you both have liked the last passage. But every book I write so that I can have that feeling at the end that people have written about before, but even as I write it, of, simultaneous joy and sadness. I always want to, if sadness is not sort of aesthetically compelling, then really it's just depression or something. I don't know. Like I want always to have like the joy and the sadness, because it's only with some degree of beauty of language or some sort of notion of sublimeness or something that you can, at least for me in text, experience the kind of sadness that you might listening to music. So that is that what prose has to do, or poetry that's good, it actually has to, it has to be, there's no way to sadness without some sort of beauty in sentences here, because we don't have the grace of music that just sort of flicks our brains into that sort of quiet, tragic state of appreciation of time sort of passing and all that. So I always am writing toward that, whatever sensation that is at the end of a book, in both these books. And this trilogy was about, it was about last things. It was about last creatures, and the experience that we have watching last creatures go. I think it was last week, the last, white rhino, Sudan died, male northern white rhino. So that really is a new extinction. And we've recently coined a term that we never even used to have, right, for the last creature of its kind in a species, right? So, which is endling, and we never needed to have that word until recently, and now we have a word for the last creature of its kind. So they're endlings, we meet sort of new endlings in the news fairly often. So it's a time where we're seeing this. We've seen this sort of great acceleration, and now we're seeing this great capitulation, this great sort of falling away of that which exists, the diversity of existence, and we have to live with that. And so our experience, I think, is unprecedented in a way. I mean, we've evolved. We had never have lived without this diversity of creatures that. We've evolved, we've co-evolved. We've lived side by side with everything in the world almost everything that we now know. And all of a sudden it's falling away, and we will be in a place we've never known. Our species has never known. And kind of interested in this idea of species aloneness and what will our experience be when there aren't as many others in the world